So basically, from what I got from other people, is Home Alone is either one of those movies you really, really like, or at the same time though, it's one of those movies you're not too fond of. And I gotta admit, I think I'm in the middle somewhere. Home Alone. Now, Home Alone was released in 1990 and is set by Chris Columbus, based on the story of Kevin McAllister, who is left home alone one Christmas when his family goes on holiday. And basically, when he's left home alone, he's really enjoying all his time by himself. But then, he starts to realise that there's two thieves who are trying to rob his house, so he has to try and stop them before it's too late. And that's basically the plot of the first Home Alone. And the thing is with this movie is I had almost no intention to watch it this Christmas, or this holiday season if you will. Because the thing is though, I'm not the biggest fan of the Home Alone franchise. Like, I'm gonna be honest here, I actually remember having more fonder memories of watching the second Home Alone, Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, more than I do this one. Because I have seen the film, quite a while ago, but I remember not enjoying it that much. But then I actually remember enjoying the second one a lot more. But then the thing is though, you get to Home Alone 3, and that's just awful. But nevertheless, I've seen the first three Home Alone films, and I remember watching this one in particular quite a few years ago now, and just not enjoying it that much, I've got to admit. And I was at the primary target audience when I did sit down to watch them at a younger age, but I just didn't enjoy it that much. But nevertheless, I almost had no intention to watch the film this year, or this holiday season, because I don't know, I don't consider it a quote-unquote Christmas classic, as many other people do. But then, a couple of days ago, I was decorating the Christmas tree, I was getting all the Christmas decorations down and putting them out, and then I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to put some on in the background, so I put on Disney Plus. I was actually intending to watch The Night Before Christmas. Then, instead, I saw Home Alone, and I stuck on Home Alone in the background. But then, actually, as I was, putting up the decorations on the tree, I actually started to kind of enjoy this film. I think it's got a lot of good moments in there, but at the same time though, I also think it's got one major problem and a lot of other problems as well. And I think my big problem in this film is just Macauley Culkin as Kevin McAllister and the Kevin McAllister character in itself. Now everything else I think actually works quite well in this film, but saying that though, the main character just doesn't work for me. I just got to admit there, but overall, I think it's fun, I think it's enjoyable, but at the same time though, I don't like it as much as I want to. I want to love this film, I want to consider it a Christmas classic, like so many other people do, but I just don't in the end, and I think that all goes down to the main character. I'm not charmed by Kevin McAllister. I don't find him funny to watch. I don't find him enjoyable to watch. And I think that's my big issue with the film overall. Because he is the main character when he's quote-unquote home alone. Honestly, the amount of times Home Alone does that is ridiculous. Honestly, there's so many times where it's, Kevin McAllister or another character saying, oh my god, Kevin's home alone. And when it's Kevin McAllister goes, oh, it's really fun to be home alone. And things like that. It just doesn't work. And I'm paraphrasing there, but you get my point. The amount of times they say home alone in this movie is ridiculous. But nevertheless, I just don't find Kevin McAllister that fun to watch. I don't think Macauley Culkin plays that character particularly well. I understand that he was a kid at the time that this film was made. I understand that's the whole point of the film. He's a kid who's left home alone. I understand that, and it's not a bad idea. A kid being left home alone over Christmas, you have to fend off against these. That's not a bad idea, but the thing is though, I just don't really buy into his performance. And I get in the end, it's a movie, so they're probably doing take after take after take after take after take. But the thing is though, I just don't really buy into that performance, and maybe if it was someone else playing that character, maybe I'd enjoy it a bit more, but the fact is though, it's not. It's Macaulay Culkin playing that character. And actually, I don't think the kid in Home Alone 3 did a particularly fantastic job either, but nevertheless, I don't really buy into the character of Kevin McAllister, and I don't find it fun to watch, I don't find him funny to watch, and also, I don't really like that character as well, because he acts a bit egotistical and a bit like, oh, I'm going to be this kid who can easily outsmart these thieves, and I get that might be intentional, I understand that, but the thing is though, it just didn't work for me, because the thing is, you either get charmed by Kevin McAllister in the film, or you don't, and I didn't. I just didn't really find him that enjoyable to watch and that fun to watch at the same time. And also, I think the film is tonally all over the place, and I think it's got some really weird moments. Like there's one moment in particular where, Kevin McAllister has a conversation with a Santa who's just finished work for the day that's kind of like, while watching this now, it just kind of felt out of place. And also, you know, there's all the slapstick comedy to the two thieves in the film. And even so, I actually quite enjoy watching Joe Pesci in a very different role than something like Goodfellas, Raging Bull, and Casino. I've just got to admit, the slapstick humour didn't really work for me. When you watch the thieves get hurt time and time again in the third act of the film, I didn't find it funny. I kind of started going, nah, it's okay, but I don't really like it that much. But nevertheless, so I do think the film has got a lot of perks as well. Like, I think that Joe Pesci is great in the film. I love the fact that Joe Pesci, you know, chose to be in this film a year after he did Goodfellas. You know, because in Goodfellas, he plays a very, very different character. Great character in Goodfellas. I love that film, and I love his performance in that film. But at the same time, though, in this film, he's playing a very different character. But actually, I still enjoy watching it, though. I'm not entirely sure why Joe Pesci decided to be in this film in between doing Goodfellas early on in 1990 and Casino in 1995. I'm not entirely sure why he chose to be in this film, but nevertheless, he's in there and he's great to watch in there. And also, I do actually quite enjoy the storyline to the two thieves in the film. I just don't enjoy all the slapstick humour of them, you know, later on in the film, but nevertheless, I do enjoy that storyline. And at the same time, though, I also really enjoy the whole storyline to, you know, Kevin McAllister's neighbour in the film, because at first you think he's this mean old guy, but then actually it turns out that is actually quite an emotional storyline there. I think it works really, really well in the film. And also, I think Catherine O'Hara as Kevin McAllister's mother is wonderful in the film. And also, I completely forgot that John Candy was in this film. I completely forgot he was in this film. And actually, he's really funny in that. I really enjoyed the small moments he was in this film. He's not in this film loads. When he does pop up in there, I did really enjoy him in this film. And also, I think the John Williams score is so fantastic. It's a real Christmassy score. Because even so, I'm not the biggest fan of the Home Alone franchise. Every single time around this time of the year, I will always sit down and listen to the main theme from Home Alone from John Williams. And yes, that might be because I'm a huge John Williams fan, but nevertheless so, it's also because it's a score that makes you feel like it's Christmas. Honestly, every single time I hear that main theme from Home Alone, I think, it's Christmas. It's just such a fantastic Christmas score, and just, it works so well in the film. And also, the score sounds a bit similar to the musical scores for the first two Harry Potter films, you know, Harry Potter the Philosopher's Stone and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and that's also because those two films were also scored by John Williams, and those films were also directed by Chris Columbus as well. The first two Harry Potter films were directed by Chris Columbus, who also directed this film, so there's your link there, and that's perhaps why the score for the first Home Alone in particular sounds similar to the scores for the first two Harry Potter films. But nevertheless, I think the score for this film works great. I think it's such a Christmassy musical score, and every time you listen to it, it just reminds you of Christmas in the most delightful way possible. I think John Williams did such a fantastic job in the musical score of the film. And also, I think the film was well made. I think Chris Columbus did a good job making this film. I mean, I don't think the direction is fantastic or anything like that, but there were a couple of moments in the film where I actually thought it was really well made. And in the end, I wish I liked this film more than I did. I wish I loved it. I wish I went, you know what, I don't understand what I was watching as a kid, and actually, now I love this film. I wish I felt that, but the thing is though, I didn't. I just kind of got to the end of the film and thought, you know what, that was fun, but I don't really care about watching it ever again. I mean, I probably will get around to watching it in the near distant future, in one of the Christmases to come, but the thing is though, for now, I don't really care about watching the film again. And actually, I'm more intrigued about watching Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, because I actually remember watching that at a much younger age and enjoying that more than this film. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to feel about it now, because I haven't watched Home Alone 2 for a very long time, but nevertheless, when I do, I will get my review of it in about a week or two's time. But the thing is though, I don't really love this film. I don't really like it that much. And I think the main reason for that is the character of Kevin McAllister and Macauley Culkin's performance. I wish I really bought into that character, but I just didn't. I just didn't find it that believable, and I just thought it was all corny in that aspect. And I get it's a Christmas film. You know, Christmas films are meant to be corny and I understand that. The thing is though, I can watch cheesy moments in all these Christmas films like, I don't know, It's a Wonderful Life, Polar Express, and so on and so on and so on, and it works for me in those films. But the thing is though, it doesn't work for me in Home Alone, and I think the reason it doesn't is because I don't believe in the main character, and so therefore, everything else going on around him starts to crumble down, in my opinion. I just don't really believe in it. I just struggle to buy in it after a while. And also, one last big problem to this film is, in the end, you know, Kevin McAllister's mother just managed to get home, you know, because there's really emotional story for the film with, you know, Catherine O'Hara's character, who plays Kevin McAllister's mother, trying to get back to Kevin before it's Christmas, before he's not left alone over Christmas. It's a really emotional storyline, which works really well in the film, but then all that emotion with that storyline is completely underwhelmed, because then at the end of the film, it turns out that Kevin's family, who we didn't think was going to get home by Christmas, gets home by Christmas. And it's just like, what was the point of that? What was the point of the storyline with the mother if it turns out that she could just come home with the rest of the family? I just don't understand that whatsoever, and it completely undermines the whole storyline to the mother in the film, which is a shame, because like I said before, I think Catherine O'Hara is wonderful in the film, but I just think the ending kind of undermined her whole storyline in the film. And not in a good way at all. And honestly, in the end, it's a fun Christmas film. I enjoyed myself watching it more than I remember. But the thing is though, in the end, I just finished the film and went, you know what? I have no intention to watch that again. You know, I finished the film and I instantly forgot about, the last half an hour of the film as soon as I finished it. And even so, I love the musical score, and I love Joe Pesci in this film. I love that he did this the same as he did Goodfellas, and also there's so many other aspects of the film which make it feel like Christmas in such a wonderful way, because in the end it is a Christmas film which makes you feel like Christmas, which is a praise I can behold him on this film, because that is a good thing. But the thing is though, in the end, I just kind of finished the film, and I thought it was fine. Overall, this is kind of how I feel about Home Alone. It's an underwhelming Christmas classic. I wish I loved it, but I just don't. And so, all in all, I'm going to say Home Alone, I'm going to say that it's a 6 out of 10. If you love this film, that's fantastic. I can completely understand why, and I'm not taking that away from you. In fact, I wish I loved Home Alone as much as you do. But the thing is though, I just don't. I think it's a really underwhelming Christmas classic. And the reason I do quotation marks there is because many people consider it a Christmas classic, and that's fine. All films are subjective, and if you consider this a Christmas classic, that's great. But just, I don't. And I wish I did, but I don't in the end. And then, like I said before, the main reason for that for me is the main character. I wish I believed in him, but I just didn't. And also, the film is totally all over the place, and the whole story to the mother is completely undermined in the ending of the film, and in the end, I just kind of felt underwhelmed by it. By no means is it awful, I'm not saying that, but I wish it was better. I wish I found all that slapstick humour to the two thieves being her more funny in the third act of the film, but I just didn't in the end. I wish I brought into the main character more, and I just wish I loved it overall, but I just don't. But I do love John Mulaney's music score of the film, and I do love Joe Pesci's performance, and I think there was a lot to admire in this film, but at the same time though, I don't love it, and I don't really like it that much either, but it was fun whilst it was on, and that's kind of how I feel about the film overall. Like I said before, it's an underwhelming Christmas classic, and that's kind of my viewpoint on the film as a whole. And so, all in all, I'm going to say that Home Alone, I'm going to say that it's a 6 out of 10 from me. Anyway guys, what do you think of Home Alone? Please do comment down below and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Anyway guys, thank you as always for watching, and if you haven't yet, please do click down below and like subscribe on this video, and look forward to many more both film and TV reviews and Christmas film reviews coming very soon on this channel. See you guys again soon, but bye for now, bye!